Alright everybody, what's up? We're gonna move on to part 4 of this video. So I just got the power bombs and we are gonna go move on and get the grapple beam. Once again, this is Captain Morgan Freeman, also known as Gary Brooks. We're gonna go get the grapple beam. We're starting right now, and I kind of wanted to talk about something that I kind of mentioned in the first video about those. Back in the day, there was really no internet, and you kind of had just game magazines to rely on, and also, there was those hotlines. I mentioned in the last video about how me and my sister used to play Shadowrun. It was me, my sister, one of my friends, and her boyfriend at the time. We were like really big on that game. It was such an awesome game. I really wish more people had played it. I believe my friend Eric also, he played it quite a bit also. It was for not the Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis, but it was Shadowrun for the Super Nintendo. There was a Shadowrun for Sega Genesis, but it was completely different from the Super Nintendo version. Anyways, there was this one part, and I believe like between the four of us, and the four of us, I mean me, my sister, the boyfriend at the time, and her boyfriend's brother, which was my friend. There was a part in the game where you had to kill a vampire, and I know for like the longest time, we could not figure out how to kill this vampire. Like, we had the stake that you needed to kill him, like a wooden stake. It was like a wooden stake or something, but you could not. You'd go through these catacombs and you'd go to like the vampire's lair, and you could not, like, we could not for the life of us like figure out what it was to do. And the way this game worked, it was kind of like you ventured around, you asked questions to like patrons and people in the city, and you got answers, and it just gave you new leads, and then you got like new keywords. But what we needed to do to kill the vampire was get a strobe light at a nightclub, and then in turn you use the strobe light to I guess blind them or to incapacitate them, so that way you'd be able to kill them with the stake. Like I said, it's a funnier story, but my sister actually, she admitted to it later that she actually called the hotline to get the answer, because no one could figure it out, and it seemed like we had gone through the whole game and like asked like everybody to try to figure out what it was to do to this vampire. But yeah, just side note story right there. As you can see, when I was talking about that story, I came back to get that energy tank. I told you I'd be passing by here again. I'm supposed to be going to get the grapple beam. I kind of just got sidetracked talking about that story, but I'm going to pick up some additional items that I can actually get now. I'll be coming up here. I believe there's a super missile up here in that the long shaft where the original escape route was in the original Metroid. I'm gonna get that real quick, and then I'm gonna come back down through Brinstar to get a couple items. Like I said, I'd be returning back for that energy tank, so we did that. Right here. I want to say it's a super missile. Gotta do this quick, I always remember that. And I messed it up. messed that up too. Okay. Just gotta slow down. Mm, I took too long on that one. Also, like I said, like before, I never really owned this game for quite a while upon its release. I would just rent it all the time. It wasn't until later on that I actually bought it and played it. I mean, obviously, significantly, like over and over and over and over. There was just so much replay value in this game. Um, but later on in high school, I had a there was a friend of ours. His name was Robert. He claimed to be like so badass at this game, and me and him would always have like a speedrun contest. And of course, this is before streaming and everything, but we would just sit there and I would play and then he would play and we try to beat each other's time, and I was just always like blow him out of the water. But he always claimed that he was like really good, but it never turned out to be the case. And after a while, he just conceded, and he'd always say that he would beat my time and percentage and everything, but it never really happened. So now I kind of feel like I'm trying to speedrun, and I'm gotta be real careful about that because, like I said, it's not what I am trying to do. But I guess after I'm kind of getting the hang of it, getting the controls down, and just trying to blaze through it, but I'm careful not to. So we're coming back down to Brinstar. I can get a couple more items here with kind of the new abilities I got. I know, let's see, this way was the map. Okay, so now that I got the speed run, I can actually get through here without using the mock ball. And for those of you who don't know what the mock ball is, and what I'm referring to is, if you didn't have, well, first of all, let me show you. You need the speed like boost to get past that, and then those. Like if you were to run normally, you wouldn't be able to get through, and you're not supposed to be able to get through until you get the speed boost. You know, upon messing around with it, a lot of people. I don't know if I could do it. I'll attempt to. It might take a while. I'm not even gonna attempt to. The concept of the mock ball is you're supposed to kind of get a run and then jump and then you roll, and the game glitches where you kind of roll faster than normal, and you were actually able to get through these barriers. Hence, you can get the super missile because there's a super missile expansion up through here. But you'd be able to sequence break and not have to battle the spore spawn to get those super missiles, and it would just really open up the game. As far as speedrunning, it just opens it up that much faster. I believe there's 2 expansions over here, yes. But when you heard me talking about that in the first couple videos, I think the second video was, that's what I was referring to as far as mock ball, what I was talking about as far as I wasn't going to be sequence breaking with using the mock ball, because once you see, that's like the first main sequence break of the game for speedrunners, and once you do that, it really opens up the game, and you really can really shave off a lot of time doing that. It's actually probably like the first key sequence break for a lot of speedrunners. Or I would say pretty much all speedrunners. Okay, we can actually, yeah, we can actually get down here. This area right here really gave me nightmares as a kid. And I don't mean that literally. It's just this part right here is where you're, you know, when you first come across this, you mean you're not supposed to know how to wall jump. It's not. I believe this is 1, 2, 4 blocks out. Anyway, there's like a hidden passage right here that you fall through. 1, 2, 3. I hope I cleared it. But I remember being stuck in here for a really long time, not knowing how to wall jump, and it just took. There was actually a save station down there, and it was like the worst part, I think, to put a save station, because I remember being stuck down here for such a long time, like as a kid. There's a save station right here, I believe, and then up ahead is the wall jump, where you learn how to the ectocons. I don't even know what they're called. Ectocons. They teach you how to do the wall jump and part right here. Always hated this part of the game right here because of all these. It's just annoying. There's 2 parts of this game that really annoy me. This is one of the parts. This little area right here. And there's another part in Meridia that's just real tedious, and I'll point that out to you when I actually get there. It's just 400% item completion. There's this one part that you gotta pretty much traverse through the quicksand, and it's easier to. I'll make sure, and trust me, I'll point it out when I get to that part. So anyways, like this part of the game is really there's 2 parts to this game where there's those little animals that help you learn. Oh, excuse me, I was yawning. To make you learn these abilities that you will have this whole time. And like I said, it's one of those things about this game that you learn how to do that wall jump, but then when you play this game again, you realize that you could have done it this whole time. So that way, so in that case, when you play the game again, it really you play it differently because you know that you can wall jump, and you see certain things that you're able to actually do. Well, I skipped it, but let me show you just in case no one's ever played this game. But right here is where you learn how to Shine Spark. Now, it picked up the name Shine Sparking in later years. It wasn't known as Shine Sparking at the time, but later on in later games it learned to pick up. So I mean, you see this guy and you just mimic what he does. And you Shine Spark. So you wouldn't have known that you could do that prior to, you know, falling in there, because it's meant for you to run through there, and then you kind of break that that ground, and then you learn how to Shine Spark, just how you kind of like fall in that pit, and the only way out of there is to learn how to wall jump, and you just gotta observe the moves of the Ectocoons, and I forgot what the name of that ostrich looking bird is. I kind of forgot what's. See, it just kind of comes back to me. I just know to hit that with super missile. Power bomb, and I think that's all there is in here. But and of course, this room right here, and the way I entered this area, it was meant to be uh, navigated with the X-ray scope, which you're not supposed to be getting until later, but I just know how to navigate it without the X-ray scope. Down here, there's a power bomb icon. We saw that earlier. I can blow it up, but I really can't do anything down there anyway because I don't have the gravity suit. There's an energy tank down there, but the area is like a little bit waterlogged, so I wouldn't even be able to get it. I believe I've seen, if I'm not mistaken, you can get it if you. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think I've seen it where people can get that without the gravity suit. They just find a way. I forgot how, but I believe I saw it one time. Like I said, I could be wrong. I know there is a reserve tank in here, an energy tank. And I believe that's it. Is there? Can't remember. There's a missile. Make sure. No, there's not. I know in one of those rooms there's like a missile on at the end column. Not the end column, but on the little pedestal thing right at the corner. Coming up in about 17 minutes in this video. I think I've picked up all like the miscellaneous items here that I can, other than some missile expansions that are up in Criteria by the ship. You're supposed to need the screw attack and the space jump for that, but could go get them right now. It's just probably easier if I just wait till I have a little bit more energy, because it's an area that has a lot of lava and spikes and things like that. You could easily die up there. It's a little bit out of my ways now. I should have thought about it earlier, but we'll come get it again in a little bit. I remember, like I said, this is another part coming up. Well, not coming up. I'm a little bit far out. But I'll show you right now what I'm talking about. Of course, this room right here is where you get the X-ray scope. I'm not gonna go in there yet. It'd probably be close to instant death, because you don't necessarily need the grapple beam, but it's recommended to have it because there's a lot of spikes and it's a hard place to navigate without having the grapple beam, and spikes in there will definitely kill you pretty quick. So we'll get that a little bit later on. Okay, so really? Okay, so this is the part I was talking about. This glass tube right here. I think I mentioned in another video. I remember when I first came across this as a kid, like it was so cool because you just like, oh, maybe if I lay a bomb here, I'll break this glass. And you didn't really think it was gonna happen, but then it does happen. And it was just, I don't know, it was just really cool. Of course, now that you see the physics of everything changes because now I'm in the water. That's another thing. I mean, I mentioned the controls before in this game, and the controls really are amazing in this game. There's actually physics. I mean, to the way you jump. I mean, if you press the button, you jump so high. You feel like weight and everything. Even like when you're in the morph ball, like you feel. I don't know. It's just the physics of this game was just way ahead of its time. Like even to how long you press the jump button for determines how long you're gonna jump, how far you're gonna jump. When you turn into the morph ball, there's a little like bounce to it. You feel the weight of it to when you're like jumping, stopping on a dime, turning back, holding B to you can actually get like a you hold jump and hold B as you run. You can actually kind of get speed boost a lot quicker. At least I think so. I don't know. Just it makes sense to me. It just feels like you do. I believe you do. But this is this missile expansion. I believe I mentioned it earlier. Couldn't get to it earlier because you needed the power bomb to blow up all those blocks right there. Coming up on 20 minutes in this video, I'm gonna hightail it back to Norfair so I could save it, and we'll be on our way to fight Crocomire and get the grapple beam, which I said initially in this video that's what we would be doing, but I did a little bit of some miscellaneous item pickups, and now for sure in the next video we'll be going to fight. Let me just get to save station. There should be one. No, it's down there. Map access. Okay, so there's a save station right down here. So it's gonna wrap up this video. I'm gonna save it real quick, and then we'll pick it up and we'll go fight Crocomire. So once again, this is Captain Morgan Freeman wrapping up video number 4 it is, I believe. So we'll see you on video number 5 where we'll be going to fight Crocomire and get the grapple beam, and we'll see you. Thanks for watching. Leave some comments, like, subscribe, follow, and thank you. Leave some comments, leave some feedback.